I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of January 6th, 2016. Happy New Year! It's officially...
I think we said that last time.
Well, last time... Yeah, that's right. It's officially, for us anyway, because we recorded that ahead of time. We time traveled. But now it's officially 2016. It's the first Wednesday for us of 2016. The first new comic book day of 2016. And there's some cool stuff that came out as always, and we're here to talk about the books that we like the most, the things that we think are awesome, and we're also going to give you a preview. We were going to do a top five movies, upcoming movies of 2016, but there are so many of them that we decided to just run down all of them and talk about how amped we are, or not amped we are, for them.
As the case may be.
Yes, so, speaking of things that I didn't think I would be amped for... My pick of the week this week is Spider-Man Deadpool #1. What's that you say? Mark chooses a Deadpool book as his pick of the week? It truly is a new year, and strange things are happening. This is written by Joe Kelly, with art by Ed McGuinness. Joe Kelly wrote Deadpool many, many moons ago, and Ed McGuinness also illustrated Deadpool. The first Deadpool ongoing series was illustrated by McGuinness, possibly a miniseries beforehand. Joe Kelly has kind of been away from comics for a while. He's part of the Men of Action, or Man of Action group that's been developing animated series for TV, including Ben 10 and Ultimate Spider-Man, Webbed Warriors, and a bunch of other stuff. But it's great to have Joe back in the driver's seat of a Deadpool comic. This takes place in present day. Peter is running Parker Industries. Wade is married to the Queen of the Queen of Hell, or whoever he's married to. And my lord, is this a laugh-out-loud funny book. That's all I can tell you. Spider-Man, Deadpool, teaming up. This is an ongoing series, by the way. And by the end of the series, by the end of the issue, things aren't exactly as they may have appeared. Did you read this?
Yes.
Okay. Really, really enjoyed it. I mean, it is laugh-out-loud funny, as I said. I don't know if I would give it to anyone under the age of 15, maybe.
Yeah.
It's listed as
it
T+.
leads with a 3-page running joke about Wade's erection. It's not.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's a funny erection. As an added bonus with Spider-Man Deadpool #1, you get the first issue of The Vision, or I should say, yes, it is The Vision #1, which is kind of a sleeper hit for Marvel. It's appealing to. It's a very unique book, let me put it that way. I think I need to give it a second chance. I read the first issue and didn't come back for the second one. Not because I didn't like issue 1, just because I have so much to read. It really has to suck me in to get me to come back for the next issue. But I'm hearing a lot of positive buzz online from other retailers, from fans. And Marvel really believes in this book. They're doubling our shipments for free because they want more people to check it out. So you get to read Vision #1 as part of the cover price of Spider-Man Deadpool #1.
And $3.99, 2 #1 issues. What a deal!
Yeah, it felt like Spider-Man Deadpool felt like a $4.99 book. I mean, it felt like a longer than usual story.
Next up for me, my pick of the week is Invincible Iron Man 5, written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by David Marquez. And this is super great. Bendis' humorous take on Tony is awesome. As is alluded to there by the cover, actually the opposite of what's alluded to there by the cover. We have Doctor Doom and Tony Stark teaming up to fight a mystically empowered Madame Mask, but the fight is taking place in the club of Mary Jane Watson. So you've got those people involved. It's funny. It's really, really good. I find this version of Tony to be likable. Like, more likable than the previous version, not the superior, but the regular one. He's always kind of arrogant, and that's sort of a character trait for him, but he's just lots of fun, and I kind of dig this new Doctor Doom, sort of mysterious, maybe good guy. Oh, and we get an appearance by Doctor Strange as well, who is, of course, Tony's awesome facial hair buddy.
Facial hair bro.
Yeah, facial hair bro. Invincible Iron Man is just firing on all cylinders.
If you didn't talk about it, I was going to talk about it. Not because we haven't talked about it in the past. We're 5 issues in. The reason I was going to bring it up again was that no one writes dialogue like Bendis. No one writes dialogue like Bendis in the comic book industry. It just... I can't describe it. it's so easy and fun to read. It just flows, and you want to read more by the time you get to the end. Invincible Iron Man is aces. All right. Now, this next pick for me was one I almost didn't read because I read the first issue of the Secret Wars miniseries, A-Force. I liked it. I didn't love it. And I thought, well, I don't know where this is going to go. We're on Battle World. I don't know what's going to matter and what's not going to matter. And for me, that's a thing. And I think that's a thing for a lot of people. We want our comics to matter. We want the storylines to matter. And with a lot of the starting and stopping that's going on at Marvel and DC, I think there's a real fear that stuff that happened before isn't going to count or isn't going to matter.
I think a lot of that's probably a generational thing too. I think younger people who are reading them first
possible.
in graphic novels are less attached to continuity.
And that's a definite possibility. Marvel has been better at keeping continuity, at least histories of the characters. But I picked this up for two reasons. I digressed. G. Willow Wilson is an amazing writer, and I think she's doing a bang-up job on Ms. Marvel. The second reason is I like every character in this book. On the cover, we've got Nico from Runaways. We've got Alison Blair, Dazzler, who apparently has gone through some sort of cosmetic change. She as she would be, since she's a pop star.
Yeah, well, she did that a little bit in X-Men when Mystique was replacing her, and she was all, like, drugged up and stuff.
Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, she's just an amazing character. Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, and Medusa, Queen of the Inhumans. Just a really strong cast here. So I checked it out, and I'm certainly glad that I did. You don't have to have read the Secret Wars miniseries, but if you did, this will make sense to you. The main character, the person that we're viewing the story through, is called Singularity, and she was introduced in the Secret Wars miniseries. But if you didn't read it, that's okay. You get everything you need to know in this first issue. Gorgeous artwork by Jorge Molina. Just really dug it. I'm planning on sticking with it this time because there's nothing really like this in the Marvel Universe.
Right.
You've got a lot of, and I don't know if it's because it's an all-female team, it probably is, but you got a bunch of women interacting that don't necessarily interact on a regular basis in the Marvel Universe. And that's interesting to me.
Yeah, and it's kind of creating its own sort of corner of the Marvel Universe with Captain Marvel's title, presumably hasn't started yet, but like the Spider-Woman involves a lot of the SHIELD or whatever, the airbase, the space alien, the place that Carol's, Sword. Sorry.
Yes.
So it's kind of creating its own kind of pocket universe, or not pocket universe, but like interconnected stories. The same way Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange are kind of talking about the same stuff. And actually they mention it in Iron Man too about how magic is jacked up in the Marvel universe.
And that's kind of a throwback to Marvel
used
days
to be.
of lore.
When Stan wrote everything.
Well, because if you're reading the X books, there were only 3 or 4 X books to read, and it was its own thing. If you were reading the Avengers books, they were their own thing, and they only interacted with the X-Men on special occasions whenever they wanted to do a crossover. Well, now you have characters that just pop in and out of everybody's books all the time.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that they're, you're going to have your space books, you're going to have your magic books, you're going to have, I don't know what this falls under, female books. I don't know. Awesome books is what it falls under. A-Force. A stands for awesome.
Also for aces, because we say that now.
I say it anyway, this week.
Aces is cool.
That's my new nickname, by the way.
Mark Aces Booker. All right, number 1 from Boom this week, Last Contract, written by Ed Brisson with art by Alessandro Estetherin. And apparently there is a new genre of comics, which is about angry old men doing violence. You've got like Southern Bastards and Men of Wrath. Maybe it's just Jason Aaron and Friends. And this is the newest entry in it, and it really kind of grabbed me. You've got a guy who's
the
apparently...
old man grabbed him.
Yes, I was touched by an old man. Let's not talk about it.
Hey, boy.
You've got an old guy who is apparently somehow connected to Hitman or involved in the mob years ago, but has gotten himself out, and someone comes back into his life trying to whack him. And so he's got to whack them instead.
He's got to whack back.
Yes. And then he has to go up the chain and find out who's dragging him back into this, who's after him, who put out the hit. And it was good. I liked it. The characters were likable, even though they were awful, awful people. And I was interested in the different political machinations going on within the mafia and the hitman circles. And yeah, I just thought it was fun, surprising number 1. Go Boom.
We're a boom innovator, by the way. Look it up. We have a double dose of Star Wars this week, thanks to some shipping shenanigans. Actually, it doesn't even matter. Many of you came in last week looking for Obi-Wan and Anakin #1 because several sites were reporting that it was available last week. However, we did receive it last week, but then Marvel said, no, hold it, please. It's not supposed to come out until the 6th. And then they backpedaled on New Year's Eve and said you can put it on sale tomorrow, meaning New Year's Day, and we were closed. And we figured, you know what? Screw you and the horse you rode in on. We're going to put this out on the 6th like you originally told us to. So right. Obi-Wan and Anakin. And that way, everybody that we told to last week and said it's going to be out on the 6th, we didn't want you to come in this week and find out we didn't have any for one reason or another. So Obi-Wan and Anakin is out. Some of you may have picked it up already at your local comic shops that put it out earlier. This is a story that takes place, I don't want to say shortly after The Phantom Menace, but it's closer to The Phantom Menace than it is Attack of the Clones. And that's a period that we haven't seen on film. And unless you've read a lot of previous Dark Horse comics, or maybe even...
And honestly, even with the novels and comics, it was a very...
Yeah, they kind of
barely
jumped
touched
to Attack
on
of the Clones and then spent a lot of time in the Clone Wars.
I think they did like some young reader books called Jedi Knights, but that's about it.
So, many reasons to like this book. Reason number one, it's an area of the Star Wars universe that we haven't read much about. Reason number two, written by the always awesome Charles Soule. Reason number three, artwork by Marco Cicchetto, who provided artwork previously on Shattered Empire, The Force Awakens, The Journey to the Force Awakens. The 4-issue miniseries that recently wrapped up at the end of last year, set during the end of Return of the Jedi. So this is cool. Beautiful artwork. One of the great things about this is, my experience with Obi-Wan and Anakin is limited strictly to the prequels and the Clone Wars cartoons, which I'm slowly working my way through with my 6-year-old. We are on season 2, episode maybe 7 or 8, so we got a long way to go to get through 122 episodes. And the dialogue in the prequels makes me want to slit my wrists. It is so bad. It's horrible. I can't even fathom it anymore. That's why this is so refreshing, because Charles Soule knows how to write dialogue, and we get some dialogue between Obi-Wan and Anakin that sounds good, and sometimes great. So Obi-Wan and Anakin #1 is out this week. Also, Star Wars #14, which is Vader Down Part 5 of 6, is out, and this has just been a lot of fun. The core Star Wars book, and we'll throw Vader on as an honorable mention. Both of them, I should say both of them, are just incredibly well written and drawn, and if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to be reading these things, and you feel like you're a kid again when you're reading them. So Vader Down Part 5 is out. Part 6 will be out next week, so the final part will be out in Darth Vader number 15. I think it's 15.
Sounds reasonable.
So yeah, get a double dose of Star Wars this week, and they're both excellent.
Awesome. And last up for me this week, we've got a new #1 from Marvel, for a change of pace. And it's Uncanny X-Men #1, written by Cullen Bunn, art by Greg Land. And this is sort of the evil X-Men team. Pretty much everyone on this team has been a villain at one point in their history or another. So you've got Sabretooth, who is currently inverted, the same way Superior Iron Man was about evil Tony. This is about good Victor. And he's still not that good. He still has the same personality, but he's apparently morally good. Magneto, who's a freaking ping pong ball of good and evil. Psylocke, Betsy Braddock, more good than evil, but she's been an assassin.
She's the best there is at what she does.
Now that Wolverine's not around,
yeah.
M. Monet, who was Penance for a while when Generation X.
I haven't read Monet since X Factor.
Well, that was well before X Factor.
But, Archangel.
Yes, and Archangel, who is now sort of like a mindless drone.
Did that happen during the X-Force
I have
run?
to assume it happened during the 8-month gap, unless it was at the very end of the X-Force run and I just didn't pick it up. Because last I remember, he was at the Wolverine school as, blonde, doesn't remember anything.
Oh,
Angel.
that's right. Well, there was some, and I didn't read it, but there was something that happened with Kid Apocalypse, and some exchange was made, like Soul or something.
Oh, during Axis?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Archangel's there, kind of like a zombie, a killing machine.
So if you're a mutant, life is kind of tough in the Marvel Universe, in addition to Cyclops managing to make everyone even more hated and feared than they were before. There's also a funny Terrigen Inhuman cloud roaming about that apparently harms or even kills mutants.
And sterilizes you.
And sterilizes them. Yeah, mutants, I don't think it's just them. They said we can't reproduce anymore. So I don't think it's just the cloud. I think, like...
Yeah. How does that happen?
I mean, otherwise Magneto would be out there doing it for the team, you know? That just happened. But no, it was fun. It's a lot of characters. There's a lot of great interplay.
There's a lot of characters. There's some words and
There's
pictures.
words. There's a picture one
Thanks
time.
for watching.
Greg Land, Trace and stuff. It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's very fun because the good guys at least nominally like each other, but this team doesn't really have to pretend. They can just kind of lay into each other verbally.
It's kind of... I read it as kind of a lighter... Remender X-Force kind of sort of.
Sure.
You've got a bunch of characters that are thrown together that normally wouldn't be in the same room together.
Right.
But at the core is trying to save the mutant population, and they all kind of have a different definition of how to save them and what saving is. If you enjoyed Cullen Bunn's Magneto series, this is a logical continuation.
Yeah.
Where Magneto is doing what he thinks is right and that's what he's always done,
Pretty much.
to save the mutants. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. All right, so that's it. Lots of cool stuff. We're running short on time, so we got to get to our movie preview of 2016 because no one demanded it except us. But really, let's face it. Everyone's been talking about this on social media. There's just a treasure trove of geek goodness coming our way in 2016. Why don't you start with the first one because it would not have made my list.
Okay. First up, we got Hail Caesar from the Coen brothers.
You don't have release dates on here.
Well, they're in chronological order. Or at least they're in chronological order as of
I can
now.
guess. I kind of know when some of these come out. So.
You didn't get a trailer for this? Before Star Wars?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hail Caesar. It's set in the golden age of Hollywood, and it's a Coen brothers movie. That's all you need to know. Wacky hijinks involving Hollywood. George Clooney, Josh Brolin, Channing Tatum, Ralph Fiennes, Tilda Swinton, Scarlett Johansson, Jonah Hill, Dolph Lundgren, Clancy Brown, also known as...
Wait a minute. You're telling me Clancy Brown and Christopher Lambert are in this movie?
Yes.
We're getting a Highlander reunion in Hail Caesar. I now want to see this. And Robert Picardo, the doctor from Star Trek Voyager, is in this movie. And Fisher Stevens, the guy from Short Circuit, the English guy that played an Indian,
Yes.
is in this movie.
And
Hail
it's the Coen-
Caesar.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Sounds awesome.
Now you know. Deadpool out in February. Who's not going to see this movie?
No one.
Yeah.
Looks
really.
hilarious. Well, I mean, anyone under the age
The
of 18,
more I see
hopefully.
from it, and it's not necessarily seeing more from it, it's the changing the tone of the trailers, and I now want to see it. Apparently I'm a Deadpool fan now. I picked Spider-Man
Deadpool
Deadpool,
effect,
and I want to see Deadpool in February.
And, of course, one of the two 800-pound gorillas in the world is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, with everyone and their brother from the DC Universe allegedly in it. I think this looks better every time I see a new trailer for it, which really just means my initial expectations were so low that any incremental increase makes it look better.
There's some people in this cast I was not aware of. So is Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing the comedian?
No, he's playing Bruce's dad, I think. Because you see a picture
okay.
of...
I didn't see that.
It's in one of the trailers. You see a
who's
picture
Jenna
of him.
Malone?
No
Carrie Kelly, perhaps?
idea. No idea.
Okay.
But yes, we'll see the movie. Honestly, there's no world where we don't see it, no matter how bad it looks. It's a Batman Superman movie. We've got
And
to
it
give
doesn't
it a
look
chance.
bad. I think, we need to give people the benefit of the doubt. I went on a little bit of I don't want to say a rant
Tirade.
with our website newsletter this week. Just let's cut out the negativity, folks. You don't need to criticize the way Doomsday looks in this trailer when you haven't seen more than 10 seconds of it.
Right.
Give it a break. Wait until you see it. Don't criticize Ben Affleck as Batman until you've seen Ben Affleck play Batman. And then if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. If you like it, share it.
If someone asks what you thought, tell them. Otherwise, maybe not.
Yeah. Captain America Civil War, May 6th, 2016. I have mixed feelings on this. I've loved all of the Marvel movies. I don't like when my heroes don't like each other and when they fight. So.
That's the same thing my mom said when she saw
Yeah.
the trailer.
I enjoyed the Mark Miller original miniseries. I'm sure I will enjoy this as well. It's going to set up a new phase of the Marvel. We're already into the next phase of the Marvel universe, but
Yeah.
And we get to see Ant-Man again, so that's a plus.
Right.
For no other reason, we get to see Paul Rudd in the mainstream Marvel universe.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to stop reading toy solicits, which is hard considering I work in a toy store and it's my job to order toys, because the Civil War Pops was like saying, and these people are on this side, and these people are on this side, and these people... I'm like, well, don't tell me that. I want to see the movie.
Yeah.
Next up, X-Men Apocalypse from 20th Century Fox. This is the last X-Men movie for
So are we into June
McAvoy
here?
and... Sure.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. This is the last one for McAvoy and Fassbender, or at least last confirmed.
And
is this the last?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. And is it the last Jack Bender, or does he have one more?
He hasn't been in any of the previews. I'm assuming he's in it. Everyone's kind of assuming that he's in it.
He's in the cast photo they released the other day. But it's also got other X-Men related people.
This, I think, is the last Hugh Jackman X-Men movie, but there's another Wolverine movie in the pipeline.
Okay. And this is Bryan Singer, who made the first two X-Men, as well as the last good X-Men.
And Superman Returns.
Yeah, well.
All right, go ahead.
I hate the trailer, but I like the people involved, so I trust them.
Yes, I think Sophie Turner as a young Jean Grey is kind of interesting. You Game of Thrones fans out there. Now You See Me Too would not make the list of most normal people's movies, but Josh puts it on here.
Now You See Me 1 was a hit, and it stars everyone who's ever been in a comic book movie.
So we get the Hulk, Lex Luthor, the dude, Lucius Fox, Alfred, Harry Potter, and Hunger Games.
From Kingpin.
Hunger Games Cheers guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his character in Hunger Games. Woody Harrelson. Looks awesome. If you've never seen Now You See Me, because I think it flew under the radar for a lot of people, seek it out. It's amazing. I actually didn't see it when it was out. My middle child saw it somewhere and said, "Dad, you got to watch this movie," and really enjoyed it. So, you're next.
I'm up.
You're up. We got to keep moving.
Okay. Independence Day Resurgence. This is a sequel to Independence Day that no one asked for. 20 years later,
asked for.
Almost. Directed by Roland Emmerich, who is a uneven proposition on his best day. However, we do have enough of the original cast back that I'm a little excited. Bill Pullman and Jeff Goldblum alone will get me into it. And because it's a big blockbuster movie, we have to have a Hemsworth. This time it's Liam. And Judd Hirsch is even back. How's he still alive? He was like 70 in the first one.
He's around. I'm curious about this actress named Angela Baby. One word. I don't know if that was a mistake. But
I swear to God, wasn't Brett Spinner's character killed in the first one?
No.
I thought he got
She's
choked
the
to
crazy
death.
doctor. Ghostbusters, the all-female crew led by Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. Directed by Paul Feig, who did Bridesmaids and that other movie, The Heat. Should be incredibly awesome. Apparently, we've got confirmed cameos by everybody from the original Ghostbusters that's still alive. But Andy Garcia's in this too, and Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, no.
Chris Hemsworth is like the receptionist, right? He's like the
I don't know.
Annie Potts.
Yeah, maybe. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh God, yeah.
We are on such a nostalgia kick. I wonder what things are going to look like 40 years from now or 30 years from now. What movies we're going to be seeing.
The Pokemon remake, live action.
All right, we got 3 minutes.
Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek. It's Beyond.
Beyond. Directed by Justin Lin. Lots of action. You've seen the trailer. It
Blowing up the Enterprise
again.
again.
Looks like a Fast
apparently.
and the Furious movie, so that works for me.
Next up, Magnificent. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, I believe, is the last weekend. No, I'm sorry. It's the last weekend of first weekend of August. Yes, I know this for a variety of reasons, but it recently came up in a discussion. You've seen the trailers. You want to see that dude as the Joker,
Jared Leto.
Yeah, that guy, and all these other people. Will Smith, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I am mildly intrigued by this movie. Really want. Who's not? Again, it's a comic book movie. We're all going to see it. Work in a comic shop. Go. Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven, remaking the movie that was a remake of Seven Samurai. But I'm super excited by the cast we get together. Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Peter Sarsgaard. I totally want to watch that. That's the Kingpin. And,
directed by the guy that did Training Day.
Kingpin and Star-Lord save a village.
Yeah, crazy. Doctor Strange. Another Roll of the Dice by Marvel Comics. This time it's out in November, starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the Sorcerer Supreme with a very strong supporting cast, including that dude whose name I can't pronounce from Serenity and The Martian.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. And Red Belt. He was great in Red Belt.
He was good in Red Belt.
Fantastic Beasts and
That's
Where
a
to Find
very
Them.
underrated movie, by the way.
It's a heavy movie. Like, I don't ever want to watch it like twice in the same year.
Tim Allen and that dude, Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Doctor Strange. Everyone's going to go see it.
Yes.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange with the cool gray. You've seen the Entertainment Weekly pictures. It's going to be great.
I hope so. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them continues the Harry Potter legacy. This time we've got Eddie Redmayne in the lead and some appearances by a bunch. Actually, the supporting cast is even better than that. John
Colin
Voight,
Farrell, Dan Vogler,
Ron Perlman.
Okay. It's gonna. I know. I want to see this. I was late to the party on Harry Potter. I didn't see the movies as they hit the theater. I saw the first one, didn't care for it, and just never went back until later. My kids were old enough to watch them, and now I really enjoy them. And finally, the movie I think that the world is looking forward to the most, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, out in December. starring really not a lot of people that you know, except Forrest Whitaker, Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal, Alan Tudyk, Felicity Jones. I just watched The Theory of Everything.
Oh, okay.
You should watch it. It's excellent.
Is
Eddie
that-
Redmayne.
Eddie
is
Redmayne,
amazing.
yeah.
Yes, it's the
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking story. Felicity Jones plays his wife. So, anyway, Rogue One. This was very crazy, I know, but if you've stuck with us this long, thank you. Let us know if we missed anything and what movies you're looking forward to the most. We have to go because we have to open the store and start selling comics. So, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like the episode. We'll see you next time.